Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be covering complex numbers basics. This is the kind of thing that you should watch if you're about to have a test on complex numbers and you have absolutely zero idea what they are. Okay, so starting off normally we have our x, y plane like this. Now complex numbers, we don't call them x and y. We call this part the real part, and we normally denote z is a complex number. We have our real part on the x-axis, and we have our imaginary part on the y-axis. We write a complex number in three forms: a plus bi, where I is the number of units going up, r cis theta, which is the distance r and the angle that it makes with the positive real axis. Or if it's here, we give it a negative theta, like that. And our r is still that distance there. Z is equal to r e to the I theta, which is just like polar form, which is what this one here is, except it uses e and r, and it has all the same components. Now, let's quickly break down what cis is. Cis is cos theta plus I sine theta. So when we say r cis theta, what we're really saying is the radius, and we're going to times that by the cos of the theta, the cosine of the theta, plus I times the sine of the theta. So, now let's get into some more depth. This number here, on our complex plane, would be denoted as 2, because it's 2 on the real axis, plus 2i. That there would be that number there. Now, I'm going to put a point on the Argand diagram, or the complex plane, and you're going to tell me what it is. That there is your point. If you said 3 plus I, you would be correct. Now, moving on. That there is how you write a complex number in Cartesian form. And this one here is polar. You may be asking, how do I add two complex numbers? So first we're going to show you how to add them in Cartesian form, and then I'll tell you, I have another video on how to multiply them in Cartesian form and also multiply them in polar form and exponential form. But for this one, I'm going to focus on adding two complex numbers in Cartesian form. So let's say we want to add, let's say we want to add this one with this one. Let's see if we can figure that out. 2 plus 2i, I'm going to put it in brackets, plus 3 plus I. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to add the real parts. So we're going to have, this is our first real part and that's our second real part. So 2 plus 3 equals 5. So we're going to have 5 plus, and then we're going to add imaginary parts. We're going to denote that as im parts. We're going to do 2i plus I, which is going to give us 3i. So there we go. That there is how we add them. How do we subtract one from another? So let's say we have 2 plus 2i minus 3 plus I. Now we have to remember to always use our brackets, especially when we're doing the minusing. So we're going to rewrite it out and expand this minus here into our next bracket. We're going to have 2 plus 2i minus 3 minus I. And then we can just do it exactly how we did it up here, and we can just add the real parts and then the imaginary parts. So 2 minus 3 is -1, and then plus 2i minus I is just going to be I. Then we get 1 plus I. If it helps you to get a geometrical understanding and see it happening geometrically, here's what we're doing. We are taking this number here, if we think of them as lines, and when we add them, we're just adding one line to the other. So we're going to be taking this line here and we're going to be putting it onto the end of this line here. So we end up, should look something like that. So that there will be our result that we found earlier, because we are just adding up lines, but we can do it nicely with math. Okay, these are the practice problems that I'm giving you for this video. You can pause the video now and work them out, or now I'm going to start working them out. Okay, so let's start with the first one. So let's add up the real parts, and let's color our imaginary parts as red. So we're going to have 5 plus 3, which is going to be 8. And we're going to have 3 plus 2, which is going to be 5. Let's color our imaginary parts red and our real parts blue. So 7 plus 3, and then 3 minus 4 is going to be -1. So that should actually be a minus 1i, or just minus I. And next question. So we're going to add up our reals. So we're going to have 2 minus minus 3, because we have 2 minus signs there. So that's going to be plus 3. So we're going to have 2 plus 3, or 5. And then we're going to have 2 minus minus 4. So that's going to be 2 plus 4, or 6. So then we have 5 plus 6i. So those are the answers, and that there is all the working out we have done in this video. I hope this has helped some of you guys with your study.